Hello, thank you so much for coming in today. I'm the manager at Black& Decker. We are an American manufacturer for power tools, accessories, hardware, home improvement products, and more. We are looking for commitment and someone who will show great leadership within our company. So I'd like to ask you a few questions today about your work ethic and how you are as an employee. Can you explain to me a time that you handled a difficult challenge at work?
So my last job that I had, I worked as a waitress in a golf club. And one thing I noticed was if a customer is ever unsatisfied or unhappy, just like knowing how to manage that, since I was there for a while, I was able to move up a little in that job and that experience. So coming from someone new and then being able to learn how to focus and like work on customer service as instead of going to someone else like as myself, I would just go about problems that way where I would see if there's anything we can offer them to make them leave happy and not annoyed or anything like that, just customer service and just working with them.
Mhm. Okay, that's awesome. How do you tend to handle stress when you have a lot of things on your plate and you're trying to juggle more than one?
I would say what I do is I really like to stay organized and stay on top of my work. That's something that really helps with my stress because when I have a lot of things piling up and thing like stuff like that, I just need a break or need time away. But when I stay organized and stay on top, I feel a lot more in control and able to handle things. So that's a way that whenever I feel stressed, I just start to organize. I take out my planner and I put things hour by hour what I'm gonna do, and that really helps me be successful.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. I'd also like to get to know you as a person and what you're passionate about. If you don't mind me asking a few questions about that. What do you feel is your biggest strength? And then after that, your biggest weakness?
Again, going off of what I just said, I would say that organization is one of my biggest strengths just because that really helps me. It's something I've been able to work on since I was in college and even in high school before that. Also, working in a team, I think, is a big strength of mine. I like to take a leadership role and help other people stay on task and be successful as well. And communication along with that. I think those two go hand in hand. And
Mhm.
then for weaknesses, I would say just working in groups where if we're not all on the same page, going about that in a positive and constructive way, I think that's something I could work on because I might let that get to my head and then like end up just doing more than I my fair share of it just because again I want to be organized and if someone else is falling behind. Whereas I think I can work on communicating better with that group member and coming up with strategies that can help us all succeed.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit of the same way. Has there been a time where you have set a goal for yourself and then followed through and achieved it? If so, then tell me about it.
Yes, I would say a goal that I set for myself was going into my first job, and working there and staying there and moving up there instead of bouncing around, which a lot of other people my age, I've seen that done, and really understanding that loyalty and hard work can get you very far in that, and just growing and learning how a business works in that sense and getting new responsibilities. That's something I just always try to improve on, and I really saw it pay out for me in the long run.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. So tell me about a time where you developed a new skill that you use frequently, and how did you obtain and reach that skill?
A new skill I would say is again just being able to communicate better, which I'm always trying to work on. Working in teams, working with other people in an office environment, and how to go about working with people that might have different styles than I do, and how I can use my strengths and their strengths together to be even better. Um, I would say that would be one I would use.
Okay. So now that I've learned a bit more about you, let's dive into some questions about your skills and your prior experience. I saw that you are a social media coordinator for Alpha Phi. Have you always been interested in social media?
Yes. So I actually got into that when I did an internship at a place called Co Communications back in Connecticut, where I ran their social medias and their LinkedIn and all of that kind of platform for them. And that's really where I got a good understanding. So then when I got to college, that's why I decided to be their social media chair as well, to kind of further strengthen that skill and also work on advertising and marketing in that way. And that's something I feel like I was able to learn a lot through that position.
Okay, awesome. I heard you talking earlier about the golf club. So tell me more about that. And are you currently doing anything with that alongside of school?
So currently, I am not doing anything right now since I am 8 hours away from that job. But one thing I have noticed is since I have been there for 5 plus years, that
Mhm.
job is always available to me, which I've always been very thankful for whenever I'm back, even if it's just like for a few weeks over Christmas, like they will always take me. And again, I really think that is because of the loyalty and the hard work that I've shown there throughout those years that I'm able to have that privilege of having a job that I can go back to. And that's something I definitely want to show and do in my next job as well.
Absolutely. I think that's really important, especially when you're coming back and forth from college,
Mhm.
being 8 hours away.
Definitely.
It's great you have that commitment. So do you plan on working in an HR department? I saw that you are an HR minor. So yeah, are you planning on doing that? Or oh, and I also saw you have a lot of experience in marketing as well.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was mostly that internship that I was telling about earlier with the
Mhm.
co-communications company. But yes, so I picked HR as my minor as well because I do like working with people and working out problems or any type of situation that might be in an office environment. And I have noticed in all the HR classes that I've taken this during my time at JMU that it is definitely something I would be interested in. And it is a broad area where there's a lot I could do with it, especially being an SCOM major. So definitely I'd be open to that as well.
Okay, awesome. So I saw you have the Garmony scholarship.
Yes, that is what it's called. Yep.
That and did you have to do anything specific within your job to receive this, or?
So I'm glad you brought that up because that is something I like to talk about. But so that is a scholarship I was given at the golf club because it's really just a program they do where a lot of their members will donate money and it's a scholarship for school where
Mhm.
it's an employee you have to be at least working there for 2 consecutive years. And then they look at you make a resume, you do a few essays for them, and you do an actual formal interview so they can talk to you, and it's based mostly on your loyalty, your hard work over the years, and they lay it all out. They have papers, they see everything you've done. And I was lucky enough to be given that opportunity and to be recognized for that last summer, which I was really thankful for because being able to be recognized for your hard work as well is super rewarding. So that
Absolutely.
is something I'm very proud of as well.
Awesome. Okay. So what was the biggest thing that you learned from working as a manager?
Honestly, having to deal with different types of people and different types of personalities and no longer being an employee that has to go to someone else but having to deal with customer service yourself and
Mhm.
figuring out ways and strategies that you can make sure the customer leaves happy and that it works out because that's the number one thing I learned when I was there is you want the customers to and the clients to leave satisfied and never feeling like they had bad business. So just being able to communicate and work out strategies and solutions with customers and also other employees whenever any other problems. That's why it kind of relates to HR a little bit because it would be employee problems where I would have to help figure out solutions for that. So all of those really.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that. It's a great
Mhm.
experience to have, especially
Yeah,
for future jobs like this one.
definitely.
Um, I can also see that you developed new ideas for your sorority. What are some of those ideas that you've come up with?
Yeah, so some ideas that I came up with was when one of our big philanthropy events is we host this gala where we raise a lot of money for women's cardiac care in the Sentara Hospital here in Harrisonburg. So just coming up with new ways to advertise and use that social media platform that I was talking about earlier is what I would focus on, as well as smaller things for our sisters, like recognizing their hard work, which is what I found when I won that scholarship, and how great that feels. So like whenever girls get above like a 90 on an exam, they get like some little recognition, whether that be on our social media page or whether it be some type of little prize, just to make people feel recognized when they're doing well. So those are just a few little ideas that I had.
Oh yeah, that's always the best motivation.
Mhm.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So talk to me about some of the volunteer work that you do. I see you have a lot of experience with that.
Yeah, so volunteer work that I've done, again, with the Hospital Sentara here in Harrisonburg, we do a lot of donations and fundraisers for them, which I've been a very active participant in. And then I've also helped with shredded events, which is it was for NBC Connecticut, where we would go and volunteer and help the community, like take their any important documents that they might need shredded. And it really just helped with connecting the business to the community. So that was really good. So I would do a few hours of that a week. And then
Mhm.
also Toys for Tots I did a lot, where we would help people who wanted to donate things for Christmas for like young kids who can't get them themselves. So we would just take the boxes and stuff right out of their cars and move them into the donation sites. So I did that as well. And that was all for NBC Connecticut.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Is there anything else that isn't on your resume that you would like me to know about you as a worker or as a person, etc.?
I think just my work ethic and being ready and willing to work in a team and just overall wanting to be successful in your business, I think.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you have any further questions for us?
I
Um,
do. I was wondering what day-to-day responsibilities would be like in this job, in this position.
it all just depends, on what position you're looking for within our business. We're really just looking for the type of person you are and how well you could communicate and if you are able to be committed and stay on task and things like that. It all just depends as to, what scenario you're going to be in. So,
Awesome. And then my next question I have for you is what is your favorite part of the job?
um, I would say how helpful everyone is. I think that no matter what, no matter where you are within our company, anyone that you go to is going to help you with any questions anytime. I think that's definitely my favorite part because we look for great employees that are very committed and very, like I said, they want to be there. So anyone is going to be happy to help you, whether it's me or whether it's anyone. So
Awesome. And lastly, I wanted to know what are some of your company values?
um I mean, like I said, just someone who's very committed, someone who wants to be there, just a well-rounded person altogether with many different skills with whatever you want to do. I think that's definitely what we look for.
Awesome. That's all the questions I have for you.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Mhm.
You should hear back from us within the next 3 weeks or so. If you have any further questions, feel free to give us a call.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.